What encourages me being here today is this. It's fresh and alive and real, and the good news is that the movement is persisting and growing and it's vibrant.
What I can give my kids is enthusiasm and interest. I can show them that I'm curious, but I cannot always give them knowledge that I don't have. I don't know the answer to all the questions, and they have a lot of questions, but I can come alongside them. We can go find experts in areas and how to find answers and all of those things. And I think that that's part of learning.
One of my favorite things to say when I'm teaching on this is the saying, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him a lifetime. What I'm hoping to do is teach you all to fish, because that's the only way you're going to get through this. You're going to have to, your child is unique and individual. There's no one that knows them better than you, loves them better than you. So you got to be able to fish to help your child.
Homeschooling can be a little solitary, but to see the large homeschool community, that is very encouraging to know that there are a lot of people who are choosing this path.
Thrive can be really life-changing. I mean, you hear stuff there that will change your life. I mean, it will. It will change your marriage, change your parenting, change your education. And so it's that kind of powerful stuff that's there.
Welcome to the last episode of this season of the Homeschool Show. I can hardly believe it. So this is the Homeschool Show for North Carolinians for Home Education. I'm Amanda Wares, your host, and my lovely co-host is Melanie Willis. Hey, Melanie. On this last episode of our 5th season, what do we have? So we're going to talk about when menopause and puberty clash. So we're going to talk about hormones. And then you are going to have a homeschool helps for us today and actually go over some tips and suggestions for the Thrive Homeschool Conference that's coming up this week. Hey. So, yeah. So let's talk.
Right.
So exciting. Yes. Yes. And realistically, that something within this topic is going to happen during the homeschool career at some point. Because even, we're so quick, we've said the word hormones and menopause, and so we're automatically thinking the female species.
Yes.
This includes boys. They really do go through a change, and I think that we're real quick to not recognize it because they're boys. And they are having some major hormonal upheaval happening inside of them. And so I think that we have to recognize these things. And I think that's the whole point with what we're going to talk about is just recognizing when things are happening in your life. Because I think if we recognize things and we communicate well with our family, we can make it through anything. So, but before we get started, I do want to say that this is a subject that Amanda and I would like to dig a little deeper into. Today, we're talking about it just because it was on our mind. We haven't done any research or anything like that, but we do want to go a little bit deeper. So I think when we start next season, you're going to hear a little bit more about this. And if you are at Thrive this year, you should stop by and talk to us. And if you have something wonderful and insightful to say about hormones, then come and talk to us and we will interview you and possibly put it on the show.
All right. Yes, we would love to meet you and hear about your experiences. Because seriously, like Melanie said, at some point during your homeschool journey, you are going to deal with hormones, either your own or your children's. And it's a challenge. It is a challenge for sure. So I'd love to hear, Melanie, what some thoughts are that you have.
Well, I think just like what I was saying before, the recognizing things, when there's you're struggling, when there's this struggle and you're like, oh, they're driving me crazy, or this is how, not just making it be that they're not doing something right or whatever you're doing must be wrong, but stopping and being like, whoa, what might be going on here? What might be the root cause behind why we're having struggles right now?
Right.
because a lot of times that's what's it's going to be, and
Yeah.
like right now I have my niece and two nephews and then my youngest daughter. And my niece just recently really got into a very hormonal stage. And she's at that age. And it's like she's not the child that I remember. She's not the same person. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And I really thought, at first I'm like, what have I thrown her different in school that's so hard? What is the problem? And
Right.
then it all rang true in my mind. It's like, wow, this is
Yes.
different. And
Yeah.
it really, she actually reminds me more of how my boys were than how all three of
Mm.
the girls were, because I remember
Mm.
there just came a time period with all three boys where I was like, who is this person? This is not my
Yes.
son.
Right.
So, but I think that just recognizing what's happening. And so maybe some of you right now are having a struggle and you don't know what it is. Maybe this is the light that needed to come on, because once we recognize something, whether it's hormones or anything else that we're dealing with, being able to stop and have a discussion about whatever, that communication and doing things as a family and making whatever child or children feel like they're part of what's happening, that communication right then can be huge. And I think that's the biggest thing, is stopping and not just figuring it out for your own mind, but including them in the conversation.
Yeah. That's so important. I know that years ago when my first child was entering that phase, I don't think let me think about how old I was. I was not in a super hormonal upheaval at that point quite yet, but my oldest child was, and I was so thrown by it. I just didn't I was like you said, who is this child? What do we do? Because the parenting things that have been working are now not working. And I had a mom who was further down the road than I was. And she just kind of acknowledged, like, this is a thing. And for her to just affirm that, you know, it's a thing. We all deal with it. It's okay, and you don't need to be so freaked out or whatever, but it's okay. You'll work through it. It'll get better. That was so encouraging to me because I think this is one of those topics that people don't really talk about,
Yeah.
either
Yeah.
in themselves or their kids. We don't talk about this a lot of what is going on and how do you homeschool when your child, boy or girl, suddenly burst into tears over whatever, random things, or has these temper tantrums almost, where they just get mad over something that previously they wouldn't have cared about. It is challenging. And I think it does. I'm so happy that we're doing this topic because I think it's something that everybody experiences, but most people don't talk about. So I'm really happy that we're going to talk
And
about
I
it.
think we tend to think about these hormones as causing some type of anger issue in us or them. And it can be so many things. It can show
Right.
up as low self-esteem. And so during that, they stop feeling like they can't do whatever, or they might not even try to do an assignment because they're just feeling they can't. They're thinking about their bodies a lot and they're comparing themselves a lot. And there's just so much that happens in the mind that we don't see.
Right.
And so it's not just the mood swings, it's recognizing anxiety. And each kid has a different way of producing that anxiety. It may come out
Yeah.
as and manifest as something totally different in one than it does in the other. So it's just
Uh-huh.
when there's changes, and their kid is always changing, right? They're always getting older and there's always something new. And so then all of a sudden they're getting older and there's new things. And we have these other symptoms, you're not always going to key on it straight from the beginning. You're not going to recognize it. And so then not beating yourself up because you didn't recognize it straight from the beginning. I mean, we do it with ourselves. We don't always recognize it to begin with. We start going, what is wrong with me? And then we have to backtrack. It's okay to do that backtracking because that's something else we can teach our kids.
Yes.
It's okay to backtrack.
I think that's so important. Yeah. As you were talking, I was just thinking, as we say all the time, homeschooling is life. This is what a great opportunity when your kids are going through changes and maybe struggling with whatever that is. You are perhaps to learn about those things together, like what is happening in your body and what are some things that maybe we could learn about to help. Are there diet, nutrition changes that might be beneficial? Are there exercise things, getting active, different things like that, that just learning about different stages of puberty and hormonal changes and how all that works, I think is really important. All of that can just be folded into your homeschool. And what a great way to have a lesson, a little bit of science, maybe a little bit of human development, and it's homeschool. So I think that's great.
Those are all great thoughts, Amanda. Thank you. I think that was a great idea. Good job.
Yeah. Well, and I can't wait to hear from all of you out there because, in my house, as in yours, we are still dealing with hormones kind of on the other side of the spectrum now with a 17-year-old and a very perimenopausal mom. We deal with hormones in my house every day.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, Amanda, we're going to have homeschool helps today, but this time we are actually going to talk about tips and suggestions for Thrive. So, what do you got for us?
Absolutely. So Thrive is this week. We're so excited. But if you've never been, you might need some tips. Or even if you have been, you might need some tips. So here are some things to think about. And we've talked some about these, but I'm just going to go through them quickly. Before you come to Thrive, you want to look at the schedule. You want to think about what workshops you're interested in going to. So you kind of can map out your own schedule. One really handy way to do this is we have an app. And if you download our app, you can create kind of a virtual schedule for yourself. So I think that's a great thing to do. You also want to make sure that you plan breaks in that schedule because it can be overwhelming for sure. I did not do this. Maybe my first couple of conferences, I just came and I just went straight through and realized, oh, wait, I'm exhausted and overwhelmed. I needed to plan some breaks in there. I think that's really wise. It's also really important to think about what vendors you want to go visit. Our vendor hall is large and we have a lot of different vendors. So maybe plan out which ones you most want to see. Of course, you're going to look at all of them because that's just what we do. But plan ahead is really important. Make a list. That's always a good thing. Once you're there, there's some things that are really important. One, wear layers and plan on layers for sure, because you never know what the temperature in that convention center is going to be. You might walk in one room and it'd be absolutely frigid. You might walk in another room and it's really hot. So you just need to plan on layers for sure. Wear comfortable shoes. It's a lot of walking. Have something. If you're going to be buying a lot of things in the vendor hall, have something to carry those things in. That can be really helpful. Make sure that you bring water. There are water stations everywhere. Bring your water bottle. You want to stay hydrated. You don't want to be starving. Make sure you plan breaks to actually eat and drink things. That's important. You're going to want to take notes. The workshops are wonderful. They have a lot of great information. but you want to take notes, take pictures. We have recordings of all the sessions, so you can buy those to look back on. So you want to make sure you do that. You also prioritize connections while you're there. We have so many opportunities to connect with other homeschoolers, other homeschool families, with speakers, with vendors. So definitely think about it as a connection opportunity. Most of all, have fun. We are there to answer any questions you have. And it is such a wonderful opportunity to recharge, refresh yourself, get ready, and just pumped up for the new school year. And make sure that you prepare ahead of time. And then once you're there, just relax, have a great time. If you have any questions, find one of us on the team. Any of us have a green name tag. You can find us easily and ask. We're there for you. We want to help you.
And I'd like to point out there is an information desk as soon as you come in the door there of the conference convention center, and they can always answer questions for you. Whether or not, you came with friends or not, you are never, ever alone. You are going to be surrounded by homeschoolers, and everybody is there to help you and take part in what you're experiencing. And I know Amanda mentioned the app, but I'm an old-fashioned girl. So you can go on the website and print out the entire conference schedule along with the descriptions of the different workshops. And I like to do that while I'm still at home so that I can circle and think through everything before I get there and I'm overwhelmed. Because once you do get there, they will give you a conference program guide that has all of the same stuff in there. But I like to do it at home because then I'm a little bit more prepared. So, and definitely don't schedule yourself. She was right on. Make sure that you put some breaks in there. I've done that before where I scheduled workshops for every single time period that there was. And that was a little bit much because there's just a lot offered too.
Yes.
But
For sure.
we do look forward to seeing you there. And we want to mention that Friday's morning keynote speaker is being sponsored this year by Abeka. And so let's hear a little bit about Abeka and what they have to offer. Thank you, Abeka, for sponsoring our Friday night keynote speaker at the Thrive Homeschool Conference. Homeschooling is an opportunity for parents to give their children the education that they need in order to succeed. One step to success is choosing an educational curriculum that invests in our kids the way that we desire. Abeka's faith-based curriculum offers several options from videos to books and everything in between, and their proven spiral learning approach helps children to retain that knowledge. Find out more by visiting abeka.com/homeschooling or visit them at the vendor hall at the Thrive Homeschool Conference. We look forward to seeing you there. So we look forward to seeing you there, and please stop by and see us. Amanda and I will be set up on the main concourse real close to that information desk, and so you can come and see us and talk to us, especially if you have anything to talk about hormones and homeschooling.
So wonderful. We can't wait. We can't wait for Thrive. We can't wait to meet you. And now here we are. I can hardly believe it. The end of our 207th episode, which is a lot, and the end of our 5th season of the Homeschool Show. That is it seems like just, I don't know, momentous or something. It's such an accomplishment. It feels so good. I have enjoyed every single episode that we have had the chance to share, to laugh together. We've even cried a little bit on here. This is, as I say a lot, we don't get paid to do this. This is just our heart to share, to encourage, to equip. We want to help you. We want to help you homeschool with confidence and joy. We say that every single time because that is our why. We talk about our why a lot. That's our why of doing this. So I hope that you have been encouraged. I hope that you have been equipped over these last 211 episodes, over this season of the show. It is my joy and my pleasure, and I know it is for Melanie as well, to do this show week after week, and I cannot wait to see what is coming for next season.
I'm excited, and I look forward to it. It's going to be here faster than you know.
Absolutely. So keep an eye out. You might see us popping in here and there throughout the summer. So keep an eye out for some special episodes, maybe that'll come up. And as always, even as we're going through our summer vacations, traveling, or just continuing on with our regular homeschool routine, whatever you're doing, please keep homeschooling with confidence and joy. I'm Amanda Wares. This is Melanie Willis, and we are the Homeschool Show from North Carolinians for Home Education. That's the end of our 5th season, and we hope it's been a blessing to you. Until next time, bye-bye.
Happy summer.